Welcome, everyone, to the HorrorCast, episode 72. Yes, 72. The last one was not 102, it was 71.
Oops.
We apologize for that mix-up.
That was the anti-Joe. So just remember that.
Yeah. So, Joe screwed up. So this is going to be 72. Last one was 71. I'm your host, Matrix Lord 212, and there's Scott.
Hello.
What's up, Chris?
What's going on, guys? We're here at episode 72.
Yes. Can't say that 26 times. All right. So we have some news. What do you want to start with first?
Let's go with Child's Play. Why not?
All right.
So I think, this comes at no shock to anybody that after the success of the last Child's Play movie, there's obviously going to be another one.
Yes.
And we've got an update here, and I'm reading through it, and it's not really showing much.
They showed a picture, though.
Yeah.
So that's telling.
There's not a lot of news.
I think there's a picture. There's a picture of Glenn, which is son, right?
Yeah.
Or we wasn't even know if it was a girl or boy, but it was a boy. And Jennifer Tilly, right? I think was opening the door or something.
Yeah, I've never seen any of these movies, so I'm kind of
okay.
Here. But
they were in the one before this.
Yeah, the Seed of Chucky, I think.
Something like that. So we didn't know what happened with them or whatever. So that was all right. So they're coming back into the picture, and they're moving ahead. Obviously, they're filming now, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, the article it doesn't say a lot. It's just like it's making references to the old movies, and that's why I'm having a hard time because I don't understand any of the references.
Right, but basically, I just say for you. This one was the first one that went right direct to DVD.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Right away, you would think that it sucks because every time something goes direct to DVD, it
doesn't look good. Yeah,
this was the one thing that was the reverse. Sales are through the roof.
Really,
people went crazy enough where they were probably going to do two after this. Okay, because if you've seen this movie,
I knew it did well. I didn't know it did that well.
Yeah, it did well, and they did multiple endings at different time periods in this. So basically you believing that there's going to be two movies coming. So this one, I'm not sure on the timeline which this is going to take place, but it's probably going to be right after this one with the girl in the wheelchair. She's going to go to jail or something or whatever the hell. She's going to be in a mental institution or something like that. Long story. So I'm glad they're making another Chucky. That's cool. What about you, Scott?
I'll watch another Chucky. I still think to this day they used the My Buddy doll.
Yeah.
I still think that's the first thing I saw.
My buddy, wherever I go.
Yeah.
My buddy and me, like climb up a tree. My buddy. Yeah, I remember that whole song. I'm sorry. All right. The good guy doll stuff. Okay, so what's the Halloween news?
Halloween is in a mess right now.
Yeah.
So after the whole thing with the Rob Zombie movies, they're having a little bit of an issue here with this next Halloween movie. Basically, it says the biggest genre news this year was when Bloody Disgusting discovered that Dimension Films / the Weinstein Company had lost their rights to the Halloween franchise, for which they had for decades. The second was that Blumhouse, Miramax, and Trancas International Films are partnering on the revival. So there was a revival for this being planned, and it's still being planned, but it's hit a snag right now. And what it says here, it says, as of this moment, we literally have no idea what is happening with the new film, and there's apparently a reason. Producer Jason Blum tells Cinema Blend that they've had some setbacks and are, from what I'm reading, back at square one. And there's a quote here that's saying, we haven't landed on an approach. We haven't landed on a filmmaker, and we haven't landed on an approach. He said that twice for some reason, says Blum. We thought that we had a filmmaker and an approach, and we don't. We're talking to a handful of people about it. All of them have different ideas. I don't believe in coming up with an idea and telling a filmmaker what to do. So we have 3 to 5 different people we're talking with, and all of them have a different idea about what it should be. And we haven't landed on a group. As a result, we haven't landed on an idea.
Okay, here's the problem, okay? Nobody likes the Rob Zombie take.
No.
Nobody wants it to be remembered. 1 and 2 of Rob Zombie are off the table, erased from existence, never occurred. This movie is somehow has to be true to 1 and 2. 4 and 5. 6 never happened because nobody likes that. And somehow incorporate H2O and Halloween Resurrection at the same time, knowing that the regular Halloweens and the 4 and 5 and the H2O kind of conflict and make it like it's a different universe or whatever. So originally, Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, right? At the end of the second one, supposedly him and Loomis blows up, Michael Myers. Yeah. Then, from what we get on 4, because 3 had nothing to do with Michael Myers, they got married. Yeah, 3 never happened, right? 4, they got married, they had a kid, and then they were in a horrible car accident where the daughter was left behind, young, to be raised by whatever family that is, the Strodes, whatever the hell it is, right? And then she's the main thing in the 4 and 5, right? 6, that's just garbage, right? H2O was supposed to be 20 years later from Halloween 1.
20th anniversary.
And that, I guess she faked her death. But the thing makes it like she never had a daughter. It kind of not really implies that. So she had a family and whatever, and Michael Myers finds his sister. And then in the last one, she dies in the mental institution fighting Mike. He stabs her or whatever. And then the movie goes on. Then he was badly burned at the end in a body bag, but he was alive. So somehow, I don't really think they should get too busy with it. And I don't think they should say that it's 2000 and,
Okay, this is how they could do it. It's some idea. 1, they could claim that the whole daughter thing was either an adopted daughter or foster child. The whole, I hate using this get out of trouble free over cliche thing. Since she was in a mental asylum, that whole thing was just something that went on either in her head or maybe one of the patient's head. Maybe we can happen to see like a patient who's watching all this, and in their mentality, she dies, when in reality she didn't.
Right. What I think they need to do, and I have a pet peeve with the Halloween franchise, because while I do like Season of the Witch, it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. It could have been called Season of the Witch. So because I don't feel comfortable with that, what I would do is I would put out a movie called Halloween 3. And basically it will take place a few years after the hospital burned down or whatever, where they blew up.
Yeah.
And it would fill in the gap to where they're married, and it's different actors to play Jamie Lee Curtis, different actors to play that guy, and Michael comes after them. It's like an untold tale, And it gets to be so bad, and somehow they get away from him, that she's so petrified that, in this whole thing, he doesn't know that she had a daughter. And they kind of connect both series, where she gives it to, that family, and so Michael don't go after her, and she runs away. And it takes place, I guess, in the 80s. And that's what I would do. I would do it like that, and then that would be a better thing because it would be connected with that time. Or you could say what Scott said, that resurrection never happened. She's just crazy on meds, and that,
Yeah, another
it takes place after, like, he
watching
it. He never got his head chopped off. It was her husband or whatever, and they just continue it anyway. That's it. I mean, you got to eliminate some movies. You can't you can't fit perfectly together like a nice puzzle. So what else we got, Chris? Unless you want to put on that. I don't know if you watched Halloween.
Halloween is not really one of my favorites, but I think what they could do, honestly, if worse comes to worse, is that you do a soft reboot where, kind of like what you said, said, where you say a certain number of the movies happened and then a certain number didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like you say 1 and 2 happened and the rest didn't. Or you say 1 happened, the rest didn't. Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's probably what they're going to do. I'm not saying do a complete reboot because I think that would be a mistake.
Yeah.
But doing a soft reboot, I think, honestly, soft reboots are the way to go. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of those. Because The Force Awakens did it, and it worked. And I think other movies should do it before going complete reboot. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you call a movie that was rebooted that didn't work and then they go back to the original?
Ghost Rider.
As that
Ghost Rider. That didn't go back to the original, but
I mean, yeah, that has never happened, right? Where all right, I'm going to use an example, okay? The Nightmare on Elm Street franchise worked with Robert Englund.
yeah, of course.
Then they rebooted it. It didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
So why can't you go back with Robert Englund and just take it from Freddy versus Jason thing where he's trying to get people to remember him?
Sure.
And just do a soft route like that.
I don't think that you call that anything necessarily, because I think if it goes back to the original people, you know what I'm saying, you would just say that the story continues where it goes. Yeah, you just call it a sequel.
I mean, we've never had that situation where it was the reboot completely failed and they went back to the original way. You know?
I don't know, actually. I don't think we've ever had one. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I'm trying to think of all the movies that I know, because I know a lot of people give reboots like a bad reputation, but they're not, like, they don't have to be bad. There's a lot of reboots that I've watched that I've liked. I wish there weren't so many. I think that's the problem. I don't think it's the idea of reboots. I think it's just you're getting thrown so many
People
of them.
get insulted when you reboot something that was great. And and it has to live up to expectations. And if it doesn't 100%, then it's a problem. So
yeah, but I always think that a reboot works best if you respect the source material.
Definitely.
Which is why I think soft reboots are better, because you're working in the source material, but you're telling a different story. You know what I'm saying?
You're not going to have to bring this up again, but I think Ghostbusters would have worked a lot better had they had the original Ghostbusters as the original Ghostbusters.
Right, if it was a soft reboot, that movie probably would have worked.
And
honestly.
just say, look, they're too old to be Ghostbusters. That's it. And, you know, they even joke, you know, I can't even lift a freaking proton pack.
That's actually perfect. That's actually perfect to what we're talking about, because that movie was a complete reboot, and that's when it was that didn't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which, mind you, it's still not 100% definite that it was a flop, because they're still talking about a sequel, but they're trying to find a common ground where they can make a sequel and they don't have the backlash like they did with the reboot, and somehow like save face with the fans, which I don't know how they're going to do that.
But let's be honest, though. That movie could have done huge amounts of money.
Yes.
If it was a soft reboot.
People would have canned it because it wouldn't.
And then when they were fighting, when the fans were fighting with them, they were fighting with the fans. It got too petty where they got even more angry, you know?
Yeah.
So, again, there are people that I know that are original Ghostbusters fans like myself that loved it, and there are people I know that are original Ghostbusters fans like me that hated it. So it's down the middle. But, you know, nothing's going to ever replace the original. That's for sure.
I know this is getting off the subject a bit, but look at that. Like when they were rebooting, I shouldn't say reboot, but when they were doing Star Trek, look at all the people who came out and go, oh, because it's not Kirk and Spock.
Well, no, see, the thing was, I accepted it because the way they explained it was that the timeline was changed because of our Spock and our, you know, so it's kind of still connected.
No, I mean when the series came back after at the
Next Generation.
With the Next Generation, people were griping.
Which we're 29 years of Next Generation right now. So.
Yeah, and then finally people settled down enough.
Right. All right, so let's get back to the horror.
Anywho,
Anywho.
But Scott kind of brought us back to television with a good, you know, kind of segue. The Purge is obviously getting a TV show.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What is it about though? Because you can't have a purge that lasts that's going to be by
It's
hours.
24 hours, all crime legal. And
There's a quote here from James DeMonico, and basically says is the idea of why I like the idea. That's a weird way to say that.
Okay.
Of maybe a 10-hour TV thing on this. And I guess he's saying that he wants to kind of do it in different arcs. So, like, I guess an anthology of purged things.
But it's going to be 1 year, like one day purge, not like years worth.
Doesn't say that.
Because
they
it's
do like a 24-hour.
well, purge is not even 24 hours. It's like 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
He keeps saying something about 10 hours. So, like, he keeps repeating, I'd want to do it in 10 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours.
Well,
So
it would be like 24 in real time, right?
I guess it would be 12 in real time.
Yeah.
Because they want to do, I mean, if the purge.
They probably can't afford 12, so they want to do 10. That's why.
Well, you know what's odd about that,
Game
though?
of Thrones is 10. Everything is 10 now. That's the.
Well.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
I mean, Westworld is 10. Game of Thrones is 10.
See, honestly, I speaking of shows like that, I think this would probably be better if it was on a station like HBO.
Yeah.
Because you could get away with more. Now, you might have less people watching, but you could get away with more. You know what I'm saying?
Larger than Netflix.
To me, in this situation, the movies are still continuing. That's what you didn't say there.
Yeah.
They're going to just do a TV series and movies, which that was what Friday the 13th was supposed to be. But then they're like, oh, hell no, we're not going to do a 90210 with Friday the 13th and stupid thing like that. Going to CW. That would have been crap. So I'm glad they canceled that. But, yeah, we could have Purge and on, just like Scream. They could do a Scream movie, too, because it's two different killers, two different towns. The Scream TV series is different from Woodsboro and stuff like that, with Sydney and Prescott and stuff. So at least that so far it is, unless they connect it. But we have the Scream Halloween special, which nobody said anything about lately. So that's another thing. All right, what else we have? Anything else, horror?
Yeah. This one's kind of interesting. I knew this was coming out, but I thought it was coming out a lot sooner. Saw Legacy, which Saw is getting another movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's going into production.
Yep.
Which
it's supposed to come out next year or the year after.
Yeah, October 27th, 2017. Although they're saying it's not confirmed.
That's no day.
I don't know why this series needs another movie. Because in my opinion, they progressively went downhill.
Right.
I liked Saw. I liked Saw 2. Saw 3 was okay. But the rest of them, to me, were I couldn't get into them. I was just like, this is really stupid. This is getting really bad now.
But is this now a start of a new franchise, or is this a sequel?
It probably will be.
Okay. Well, I am
sequel.
glad they ended Paranormal Activity, because
Jesus.
the last one was horrendous.
I never liked any of those movies. I watched the first one, and I was like, this is not scary.
Marked ones was just so sucky that I cannot believe it didn't go straight to DVD.
Was that the one which one was that?
That was the one. Oh,
Spanish people.
Yeah, Hispanic people. And
I don't even think I saw that one.
He walks through a door, and he's in somebody's house. And
the movie wasn't ready, so they just threw some shit out there.
Mm-hmm.
The last one I saw was the one with the two little girls, and the father was walking through the house, and then he wound up in the hallway, and there was this cult of old people. Well, and then the wife got killed at the end.
Nobody really says anything, but this is the first time ever that I know of that a horror movie has time travel.
Oh.
Because Paranormal Activity, at the end, they went through the door and they went back in time to the 80s or the 70s or whatever it was, and then they died there.
Okay.
So
I never saw that one.
that's the last
Wow.
one, the Ghost Dimension.
Oh, wow, that sounds really bad.
They went back in time. So, paradox there.
I told you, like, after I went to the theater, and after I went with my two friends, and after I saw the part where the woman is sitting at the table and the ghost walks up to her wearing a sheet, I was like, this is hilarious. Like, this isn't even funny anymore. It's just like, I mean, not funny. This isn't even, like, semi-scary anymore. This has become funny.
Conjuring 2 was really good.
Yes, I love the second one.
Yeah, we had like nightmares for days. That's crazy.
I wasn't that thrilled with Annabelle, though. I thought I would be.
I liked it.
That's the thing, though. Like, I can't get into those movies because I know the backstory of those two people, and like, they're not very credible.
You really think they're not credible?
They're not. Like, I've seen other people come out with stories about them, and whether they're telling the truth or not, you know, they believe there are these people that go in there with the idea that a place is haunted, and when you go in with an idea like that, you're gonna find reasons for why it's haunted. Like,
Right.
I don't know if that's completely true, but from the sources that I've read, that's what they say. Like, they go in and they're like, oh, you know.
Well, they
backstory-
put that in Doctor Who there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
One of the backstories to Annabelle, what I love is I saw a little thing on YouTube. It says this couple was I can't remember if it was the boyfriend or girlfriend, but one of them was pretty much bad mouthing Annabelle behind the case, of course, and saying how ludicrous is. Well, lo and behold, they get into an accident, and the one who was spouting all this stuff happens to die. And everybody's going, oh, it's the Annabelle curse, it's the Annabelle curse. And I'm sitting here thinking, how many other people walked inside that
the Warrens' freaking vault.
Yeah, they were claiming that Annabelle was behind his death because he badmouthed the doll. And I'm thinking, how many people died just seeing the movie? How many people died having to hear about Annabelle?
Well, I was kind of confused because the first Conjuring, they started off with Annabelle, right?
Yeah.
But the Annabelle movie, it's like the origin is changed for them.
Yeah, that's what I noticed
And it
too.
was kind of confusing because I'm like, that's not the way it was supposed to happen. So
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Those Annabelle scenes in the first movie were really freaky.
oh yeah,
Like, I have to admit, like, the movie was really well. Like, but despite what I just said, I may not be able to get into it too much, but the movie was very well done. I mean,
the Annabelle movie, not Conjuring. You're talking about?
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about The Conjuring. I haven't seen Annabelle,
Oh,
yet,
Conjuring.
but
Okay,
I thought The Conjuring. I thought that was a very well done movie, honestly.
both of them, amazing.
Yeah, I have to see the second one, but the first one was worth the money. I liked it.
Well, here I'm gonna give you a little warning though. Okay, they play some real shit, like real tapes that freak you the f out.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was real eerie.
That I'm telling you, when we saw that, after they even said like, if you watch this movie, weird shit could happen. Yeah, that's true. Like weird shit was happening. So
Oh, it was.
now I might not be able to watch that because they did the same thing in The Fourth Kind, and to this day, I'm still like, I don't think I'm going to go to bed tonight.
If you really want to check it out, Rainierland's got it. Or Rainierland. So just flip.
yeah, Chris, you got. I still, because of that nun thing, forget it, man. That
Really? It freaked you out that badly?
Still,
I got to watch it. I do. I have to. I'm like that idiot that don't open the door.
yeah.
Opens the door, the devil escapes. And okay, anybody who just got the reference I just made, put it down in the comments section.
Yeah. That friggin' thing. And they're making a movie of that, too.
Oh, why not?
Yeah, because that's the most successful horror thing right now. It's the Conjuring franchise. And of course, there's a third Conjuring coming out, plus a second Annabelle, plus the Nun movie. So, yeah. Anywho. And we got a new season of Bates Motel, which I'm not really crazy about Rihanna as the shower victim. But we're going to have to see how that goes for the Psycho, Norman
That
Bates.
sounds really weird.
Norman Bates becomes full psycho in the last season of Bates Motel House. So that's interesting. What else horror could we talk about?
The last article that we have here is about this movie called Siren,
Okay.
which is like, what they're saying here it's a VHS spinoff. There's a poster here, and there's a little kind of synopsis here. It says, Siren is a horror thriller about Jonah, an apprehensive groom-to-be whose bachelor party turns into a nightmare when he frees a seemingly innocent, victimized girl locked up in a supernatural sex club. All right.
Oh.
Okay, that's interesting.
Was that, wait, that's the one from a VHS where she ate him or something? Like he was doing stuff with her. He was doing stuff with her, and then he wasn't supposed to say something or do something, and then he did, and then she wound up eating him, and she was like a creature. She turned into a creature.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. So you've seen VHS,
Yes.
right? Okay. Because I liked this was the thing. I liked most of the stories in VHS,
right?
Except for the one with the people in the forest.
With the zombie thing?
Yeah, with that thing that like glitched out the screen.
Right.
And then that one to me was just kind of meh, but everything else was really good.
Well, what about the one with the haunted house, the alien thing, or whatever the frig that was?
The haunted house where they were going to kill the.
Or that other place with the cultists. They were just like, all the Chinese people were just like, like, sacrificing people and stabbing people, and the guy was
I don't remember that one.
Well, actually, there was more than one VHS movie.
Yeah, there was VHS 2, and then VHS Viral,
right?
Which Viral I heard was terrible. But I remember in the first VHS, the story you're talking about is the first one, where they go to that club and they meet that girl, and then she turns into some like vampire monster.
Right.
At the end, she carries the guy away.
Right.
That was it. Actually, my favorite story in that whole thing was I think it was the second one, where it was the two people on vacation, and then at the end it turns out like the guy's wife was like she was like luring him into like a trap, and then she was like a lesbian, and her lover kills the
that was a weird freaking thing.
I wasn't expecting that, and when I saw that, I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, that's what I said too. I was like, "Oh, yeah."
I liked that though. I was like,
"What was the alien one where the aliens were just grabbing them?"
I think that was
that voice. That was pretty cool. I like that one too.
I think that was the second one. Yeah,
that was a really cool one. But those were cool, those movies. But then, and now The Ring is being delayed. The Rings.
It got delayed a while.
Well, that and Friday the 13th again. So now, this is the last time they can delay Friday the 13th. If it doesn't come out next, October of 2017, it will never come out, period, because they lose the rights and it goes right back to Freddy Krueger land, Warner Brothers New Line Cinema. So, unless, of course, there's an Interstellar 2, which Christopher Nolan, I still to this day don't understand that deal that he made, where he gave Friday the 13th to Paramount Pictures and South Park to whatever, and then they get it back. I still don't understand how that happened for him to do Interstellar. What would that have to do with? I guess he had a weird request, I guess.
I guess maybe he was looking at the contract and he was like, you know what? We need Friday the 13th in this.
I don't know. He's like, I'm a fan of Friday the 13th and I want Paramount Pictures to do another one.
Maybe when he met with them, it was like when you go buy a car and you're like asking for them to throw all these things in there, like the leather seats and the radio.
Or you get like those celebrities and they're like, I just want a certain color M&M.
Yeah.
They buy like cases of M&Ms just to pull out the blue ones or something.
But, did you know that you can – this is going to sound really weird. We're going off topic. But did you know that you can do that now? You can go online and order cans of just one color M&Ms?
Yeah. Well, there's M&M World in the city. I mean, sure. But it's not really horror. Yes, but unless, of course, you showed a picture that they're showing on Facebook with me and the M&M that was scared. that might be horror related.
Dude, that could be a horror movie. It could be the M&M guy. Yeah. They go psychotic.
In the line
speaking
of
of something horror, I remember that they would pay people to dress up in stupid characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's walking down the boulevard, like we're on Staten Island, and these teenagers beat the living crap out of him. Now, when you're in the suit, you can't do anything. It's like, they were just like beating the crap out of him, and then he's like trying to run after him at like 1 mile an hour while they're like at 20 miles an hour, And he's like, and then it's like they should do a thing like that where he's stuck in the suit, and it just he can't get out. And he can't even talk or something. It's like he's this big goofy thing. That could be a cool horror movie.
Ooh, it sounds like some Twilight Zone.
Twist.
You know what it could be called? Mascot Massacre.
Oh, so that's what Doctor Who's 2019 Christmas adventure is going to be.
Mascot Massacre. That would be a cool. You know what? I'm a writer. Why not?
Do it. Write it down.
Somebody probably just stole it already. But yeah. No, I'm doing enough books right now. Anyway, wow, we have a time limit. When did that happen? With Zoom
Just a couple seconds ago.
Yeah, that's funny. Sometimes we don't have a time limit. It just lets us go, right?
You know what happened? We started talking about M&Ms, and it was like, all right, these guys got to
cut them off. Cut them off. We need to have you know what? There are not enough people that are creative, right? They need to create iconic horror icons, iconic horror guys like Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers. But now, where it gets sequels, like today, do it now, and then get sequels. Where it's like a killer that's like that. That's what they need to do. Get on that, somebody. Great new people. So that way the next generation will be like, oh, this person and that person. And it's like, I don't even know who they are.
Somebody reboot Evolver for me.
Which one?
Evolver.
Evolver? What was that?
You saw Evolver?
I remember.
Refresh my memory.
It was a movie that was on the Sci-Fi Channel once, right? And now I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, Sci-Fi Channel. I have to admit, it's probably one of the best movies horror-wise that I've seen. And it's not that it's not scary, but it's really entertaining.
Okay.
It's basically, quickly, because I know we're running out of time, it's basically about this kid who he plays in this video game tournament called Evolver.
Oh.
And the idea of the game is that you're fighting this robot that keeps evolving throughout the game, and he adapts to how you play, right? And the prize, he actually cheats in the tournament, but the prize that he wins is the actual Evolver character. Like, they make the robot, right? And he gets the robot, and like the robot's rolling around his house, and you play the game with the robot. At first it's like, oh, the robot's just playing. But as they keep winning, it keeps adapting to how they play, and it starts to take the game too seriously.
Ooh.
So it thinks it actually has to kill the people that it's playing in order to win, right? So, and as you go through the movie, they find out that the robot was a military prototype that failed because every time they would put it in an exercise, it would actually kill the soldiers that it was in the exercise with because it thought it had to kill them in order to achieve the mission, right? So they adapted into a game, and it's actually a really decent movie. I mean, some of the acting is a little bad, but the robot, I think it's voiced by William H. Macy, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's actually like it's a really simple movie, but I've always found it really entertaining.
Wow.
I think it's on Netflix. I think I remember seeing my friends came over once and we watched. I saw it on there. We were gonna watch it, but I don't think we ever did.
Oh, also we're reviewing, if anybody's gonna pay to see it, Phantasm Ravager just came on demand, so I'm gonna be ordering that. I'm gonna probably review that on the weekend, as well as Blair Witch. I'm gonna finally go to see that. Again, thank you again, Screen Rant, for spoiling the friggin' ending, idiots, without any spoiler warning. Pissed off about that. So yeah, I'm going to see Blair Witch, I'm going to see Phantasm, I'm going to do reviews, and I think Ouija comes out in a couple of weeks, the new one.
Mm-hmm. Comes out, if not next week, then the week after, because I was looking stuff up.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants to see that. We'll see about that. But, it's Halloween month, so we're going to be doing double, triple the amount of horror cast. I'm going to try to get it out there for you guys. And we're also going to have some new members joining us for the horror cast, which is going to be a surprise. So that's cool. All right, that's it, guys. Take care. Bye for now.